Is it working? I can't see myself. So, it's been a while. Well, while's an understatement, I guess. Honestly, I don't know how long it's been. To be honest, I mean, probably since last year. That I made an update, on my life and what I'm doing right now. And I've got more updates on my life and what's going on. And let's see where to start off. Well, I guess I'm officially 18. There's that. I don't know if I talked about that. I'm officially 18 now. I'm an adult. Crazy. So yeah, I'm not going to school right now. I'm actually still at home. I'm still living at home. And obviously I graduated. Had her leg amputated due to cancer, and I'm happy to say that she has a prosthetic, and she's getting it because she grew out it, which happened was when you're an amputee, you have to wear a shrinker, which shrinks down your, in her case, stump. I've been mostly the one who's been helping her, and yeah, she still is able to do stuff on her own most of the time, but it's just the lifting stuff that she can't really do on her own anymore. Let's see. Well, I actually just got back from a job interview. So yeah, there's that. I did have a job for a couple months, but it didn't end so well, and I'll get to that. I've been looking into going back to school, obviously. Let's see. Trying to think. My life hasn't been really that interesting lately. I guess I finally met my boyfriend in person in December. I met him in person. And that was quite an experience, like I got to see him for the first time and I was just like, wow, like, now what? And yeah, we've visited a couple times. I mean, he lives an hour away from me, so we can't really travel, and also he's been dealing with family issues himself. He has a lot of family issues, and his family hates me. That too. His family completely hates me. They also hate my sister. That too. So yeah. My dog, my dog Peanut, she turned a year this year in January. She's doing good. I actually just got her a haircut because it was getting too long. I love her fluffiness, but I didn't want to be all hot and sweaty. She's literally my baby. She's my child. Like, I take care of her as if she's my child. But yeah, she's been doing good, you know. I've been trying to get on more of her training, you know. She can sit and most of the time stay. She's still having some issues, obviously. But I can't be mad at her. I really can't, because every time I look at her, she looks at me like, what did I do? I'm just a baby. And she really is just a baby. Let's see. So with my old job, why I left was because I was having a lot of mental issues at the moment, and I couldn't deal with the stress of the job. So I ended up actually going to a facility for a week. Yep, a whole week. It wasn't bad, but, you know. I mean, sure, I had phone call time was, like, restricted and stuff like that. Most of the time, I sat on the TV just watching Cops. And I met someone in there near my age, and she was pretty nice, and we keep in touch. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad in there. I mean, I was in a local, psychiatric facility, so, it wasn't that far. Okay, now let's get on to the horrible, stuff, I guess. So, my grandma had been sick for the last 2-ish years, and I did mention that she did have a liver transplant. She was doing really good. I mean, she went in and out a couple times. I mean, that's normal. And she took her, rejection pills and stuff like that. I mean, my grandma was 70 years old, so she got transplant, like, late into her, liver disease that she had. And, somewhere in, I want to say November, she started getting a lot worse. And, we spent Christmas in the hospital again, which we already had. But thankfully my grandma could come for my graduation, obviously, which I was grateful for and stuff like that. And, but as the months passed, she got a lot worse. A lot worse, I mean, she kept getting sick and was fine, and then sick, then fine, until she was in the ICU and a pneumonia that was drug resistant, and she couldn't breathe on her own. She was on a ventilator, and she was on dialysis because she was having kidney issues. And, we just hated sitting there watching her suffer like that. And my grandpa, who's the same age, decided that we should let her go. And if you don't know, you probably know what that means. She was basically on life support at that point, and we decided to just stop the machines and let her pass naturally. which happened in February. I was at the hospital in Cleveland for over 10 hours, just waiting. And my uncle had actually flown out. All of us were in the waiting room, and we slept in the waiting room. And we got to go in and see her, like, 2 at a time, which was nice. I mean, it sucked. It really did suck, just being, like, having to wait for someone to die. I feel like that's so much different than just having someone die unexpectedly. Just watching someone slowly die is such a different experience, especially is when you see all these machines that they're hooked up to, and just how much they look in pain and that they're not even responding to you. Like, the only response I could really get from my grandma was her squeezing my hand a little and just her eyes moving around. That was pretty much it. Like, she didn't even talk. She couldn't talk at all. It was that bad. And so, around 11 o'clock, my dad wanted to take us home. And obviously, I said I didn't want to go because I want to be here the whole time for her. I want her to know that I was here the entire time. And so he got mad at me, and he left anyways. So that's that. So, we went to sleep, and, I woke up in the waiting room, obviously. We had breakfast in the hospital cafeteria. The food is actually not that bad. And we walked around a bit. I mean, just to get out and stuff. And then at 3:30, she had passed away. Before that, I went in and got to see her, and I just couldn't handle it, really, because you could see the ventilator, like, pumping her chest with air, which is horrifying to experience. Like, just seeing your family member, whoever, laying there in a bed and just seeing their chest pump up, and that they're not technically even breathing for themselves. Like, it's an experience. So, yeah. And we had the funeral a couple weeks after. I mean, I couldn't even go in. Like, it was almost the same as, like, my mom and my brother and sister's funeral, where I just couldn't really handle it that well. And she was also buried near where my mom and my 2 siblings are. She's buried, like, right direct behind, I think, the twins. So, and she still hasn't had a gravestone, obviously, yet, because it's July. It's only been a couple months, but it's been really hard on everyone, especially my grandpa, since they've been married for, like, over 50 years. Been married since they were 18 years old, so he's taking it really badly. She's not so much grieving. My dad obviously is taking it really hard because he lost my brother and sister. So yeah, that's the depressing thing. I should probably talk about why I'm in my sister's room. So, a while back, when school was starting, CPS got a call, and they came to the house. And my dad and my stepmother started going off on her. while they were trying to question us. And you that. I mean, I never seen him done that with a CPS worker ever before, and he did. So I was assuming he was either angry or drunk. Either one of the two. And, so the CPS lady, she calls the police. And the police come. And before that, my dad and my stepmom just left. And so, soon after that, they wanted to remove us from my dad's custody. And before that, I was still 17. Like, I was still a minor. Like, I couldn't do anything. And, my sister was 16 at the time, and my brother was 11. So, it was 3 of us. And, so they decided to put us in custody with my aunt, even though at the time, my dad and my stepmom were living here because their house got bought under them. So they were living in a trailer outside. And the trailer's still there, but they're not living here anymore. I'll get to that. And so we had a literal trial thing, like a literal case. Like, we had to go to court. And it was really us against my dad and my stepmom. And the funny thing was, they each got both their own lawyers. And mind this, my dad and my stepmom have been married for 2 years. They've been together for like 13 or 14. They've been together for like 12 or 13 years. And, my brother was 11. So they didn't get married before they had my brother, which is whatever. But they were never the best for each other. Like, they were too similar in like personalities because they were both confrontational. So they argued a lot. And I mean a lot. So much that my brother was used to them arguing around him. And obviously my dad argued with me and my sister. Obviously. And so we went to court, and the thing that they were focusing on was something that I told my one friend. And she had the CPS called, probably, or obviously, which was that my dad was either angry or drunk, again, and I was going out to take Peanut to the bathroom, and he comes storming in, and what is my knowledge of is what happened is that the garage door was apparently locked, and my dad comes in yelling at my grandmother. I mean, I wouldn't even yell at my mom like that. If I yelled at my mom, if my mom was still here and if I yelled at her like that, oh, she'd be mad. She wouldn't take that. I mean, my dad already doesn't take my yelling, so I wouldn't yell like that at my mom. I would never. And so I come out, and my sister's awake, obviously. And so we come out, and we don't know what's happening. And I'm just like, can you guys stop arguing? Because I thought it was my dad and my aunt, because they always used to argue a lot. And my dad yelled back at me. And, it became a back and forth between us. And then I was like, Sarah, you need to take Peanut and go to the bathroom. My dad got mad at that. I don't know why, but he got mad at that. He gets mad at everything. And so he starts coming up the stairs. And I'm like, oh crap. oh crap. And so I go in my room and I lock the door. I mean, it's the natural thing you would do if someone was coming up your stairs, like, dum, 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 like that. And then he keeps trying to convince me to open the door. He just keeps trying to convince me. And trying to put me down and stuff like that. And also saying, like, well, if I break this door, you're paying for it. And I'm like, no, I'm 17. I ain't got the money for that. You're paying for it. You broke it, you buy it. It's like, no, you are. I'm like, excuse me? Buddy, this ain't your house. You don't pay anything. At least at the time he didn't. And, you know, after a bit of arguing, he left. And my sister came back in with Peanut. The next thing I know, he's coming back up the stairs. And I'm like, oh crap, lock the door again. And Sarah's coming upstairs. And she goes, what the heck? And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I was genuinely terrified that he was doing something he was like, gonna hurt my sister. And I was scared to open the door because I thought he would come in and like grab me or something. And then I just heard a big thud. And I was like, what was that? He better not have like hit like the door or something, or the wall or something, because that's not gonna be good. And and then again he starts trying to convince me to get out. Well, before this, I open the door. I see Sarah, my sister, up against my grandparents' bedroom door, and my dad hovering over her, and I'm just going, get off my sister. All right? And then he comes storming at me, and I lock the door again for like the 50th time. And he starts trying to convince me to come out. Sarah, she just goes back downstairs. Or goes into her room. I can't remember which. Like I said, this was months ago. Like this was before my grandma got her liver transplant and stuff. So, a while ago. And then, after the fact, my sister told me that apparently my dad brought up a chainsaw. Now, for you guys don't know, my dad works in the tree business. He owns his own tree business, and he also works for other tree business people. Like, he does that for a living. He's been doing it for a couple years. And he has a bunch of chainsaws. And that was one of the things that they tried to justify when we were in court, that he just has a lot of chainsaws, which doesn't make any sense, obviously. And, you know, he comes upstairs, what the heck, and he drops it. So, to me, I thought it was a hammer or something. Like something not so harmful, but, you know, something to get out the door, because he was threatening to take my door off or get rid of my door. Yes, a chainsaw. Yes, a chainsaw. So, so during like the court case, like during like the trial or whatever you want to call it, it was not like a trial with a jury, it was with the judge. It was just with a judge. And, you know, it was my siblings and I against my dad and my stepmom. And the main thing that they tried to justify of him having the chainsaw was that it was not running. And I was like, and you know, the lady who's representing us goes like, well, it's still threatening. And I'm like, yes, it is. Like, I was threatened. I didn't even know that was what it was. But I was still terrified out of my mind. And so, eventually, because they found, well, by the time the next trial came, like the next like stage came, I was 18 already, so I wasn't even involved. So after that, I wasn't involved anymore. So after that, my sister and my brother got placed into foster care. So here's when they come in clutch. They got placed with one of our family friends for a month or two or 3 months. And then she couldn't keep them any longer, so then we had them stay with another family friend for a bit longer too. And this was during school. Like, they were in school when this happened. So, yeah, hectic. I'm glad I wasn't in school. So, yeah, and one of the things that they were going to do for them not to charge them, which I wanted them to, obviously, to get them, like, to learn by their actions. You know, I've been dealing with this for, like, 10 years, 11. Been dealing with my dad like this for 10 or 11 years. And so they said that they both had to go to anger management counseling. And that my dad had to be, like, sober. And I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. Like, my dad just doesn't get sober. He's an alcoholic. He is. Like, he's a bad one. And so that actually happened. You know, he got it all under control. And because of this, he actually ended up leaving my stepmom. They're not officially divorced, but they are separated. So there's that. And he actually got his own house, which is in the area where I live. It's like 5-10 minutes away. And so he has official custody of my sister and brother now. And they live there now. So I'm the only one living here. That's what the situation's like. So the only ones living here right now are me, my grandpa, and my aunt. So what happened with my stepmom is she stayed for another couple months. When she wasn't even allowed to. My dad allowed her to. Which he had no right to, because it wasn't his house. It's my grandparents' house, not hers. And we all wanted her out. We don't like her. We hate her. And so we were just like, why can't she leave yet? And so it was to a point where we were going to be like, well, if she doesn't leave, we're going to go to court for it. And I was like, heck yeah, I want to go to court against her. Because she was abusive to me too. And so my dad actually filed an eviction notice against her. Because that camper that they were living in is his. They were still together, and my dad thinks he always has authority over things, and when he does not, it's dumb. He thinks he has authority over a lot of things that he doesn't, and at this point he was paying for, like, the electric bill, because we couldn't afford it, because they were also using the same electric we had, and, you know, all the same stuff. Like, the only things that they would use would be, like, the kitchen, the laundry room, and the bathroom, because their kitchen in there didn't have anything hooked up, their bathroom didn't have anything hooked up, and they didn't even bother going into the town laundromat. So, yeah. So he just let her stay there for in quotation marks, just the winter, when it was not. She actually stayed there for a little bit longer, until, like, a month or two ago, she finally moved out, because she was looking for an apartment, and she got an apartment in the same town that my dad lives in, which is literally like, the next town over. And yeah, so she lives there now, but she still has a lot of her crap here, which I'm about to be like, yeah, I'm gonna just shove it all in a box and put it on the side of the road because I don't want it. Like just recently, she finally moved like most of her bathroom stuff out, like from the bathroom. Like she has so many products. I'm like, what is she doing to her hair and her skin? Like, I'm just imagining how damaged it is. Like, girl, oh my god. So yeah, that's that. And obviously my siblings live there now, so that's fun. And I live here officially. And my dad is trying to change, but or I'm trying to force me to forgive him, and that's not gonna happen. Actually, I can't just forget all those years. Sure, he's willing to do everything for me, but like that's not gonna get back like those years that he treated me like crap. So yeah. He has been trying to do that. Hello. Welcome to my rant about my life. So there's that. And also, well, he's not expecting me to forgive him. He's not expecting me to forgive him. My family is expecting me to forgive him. Like, specifically my aunt. Like, she is all like, she's all like, he's trying to be better. Like, he's not doing this anymore. He's trying to be sober. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah. Just people are trying to justify his actions, is what I'm saying. They're trying to justify. And I get it because my dad's also bipolar. And when you mix alcohol and bipolar disorder, it's not fun. Where am I? I'm from PA. I'm from PA. Yeah, I'm from the middle of like nowhere. Also, I live in the literal sticks. I don't have any internet here, literally at all, so I'm living off of Wi-Fi. Yeah, I live in the country. So yeah, there's basically, trying to, justify his actions of what he was doing to me, mentally. And that really sucks. Especially when you've been abused for 11 years throughout middle school and high school. I'm from the U.S. U.S. of A. So yeah, I'm from there. Officially. So yeah, they're just trying to justify it. Even though, one time, my dad physically attacked my grandpa, which was, hard to see. Yeah, he physically attacked his own dad. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't even do that. I'm too chicken, okay? I have a way with, I will yell, but I ain't laying a finger. I don't do that. So, I don't know. Another thing, I also went to, the mental hospital twice. I went to a different one that was 2 hours away because the other one really sucked. Really, really sucked. It was boring. I'm complaining about that, of all things. So I went to a different one, which was actually not that bad. I was actually for the one I was at before, I was there for like 4 days. The second one I was at for a week straight. Yeah, and let's just say my roommate, she snored. Oh my god. And in the hospital, like, we had a lot more things to do than just sit around. And the food was actually kind of decent. It was okay. I mean, before it was, before, when I was in the first hospital, it was like you could order your own food, like you could order what you wanted, but on the first day you couldn't. But yeah. Hello. So that, I haven't been to the hospital since, so I'm thankful to say that. And the only reason I ever went to the hospital was voluntarily. I went on my own reasons. Because I'm not a violent person. I can't be a violent person. Sure, I yell, but I'm not violent. I went on my own reasons. Yeah, because the first time I had to go to the ER, but the second time I just had to call them and basically be like, oh, this is happening, and so and so. And then they just admitted me straight away. So yeah, there's that. Let me think. Let's see. Oh, my transition. I should probably talk about that. So, you know, my aunt has actually been very neutral about it. She has been kind of helping me. She doesn't really know a lot. But I have officially scheduled an endocrinologist appointment for myself, so I can go see someone to get hormone replacement therapy, which is great. Which is surprising because a lot of people think I have already been on hormone treatment, when it's not. I just naturally have, like, this voice. Like, sometimes I have a higher pitched voice, and sometimes I have a lower pitched voice. It's, like, up and down. Like, my hormones are, like, so yeah. That's, like, one of the best things, that's happened besides meeting my boyfriend, which has been awesome. Which, we're having a tough time. He's having some family problems and, wants to, move over here. He wants to move over here. And I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do, because I don't have any money. He don't have any money. He don't have no transportation. I don't have no transportation. I have a permit, that's it. And so he wants to actually work for my dad, which is going to be awkward. I mean, he's already, like, talked to him about it. And I just told him, well, you need to tell the truth about your situation. So he's gonna. So that. Let me think. My cousins came out to visit. Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. I've basically been doing nothing recently. Cause, I mean, I really have nowhere else to go. Like I don't have transportation. I can't go places really that much. Unless it's doctor appointments. Or I go down to my dad's house to get my sister's her. And sometimes I'll stay down there for a bit. Like, I camped out there for a couple days. You know. And, oh, I have a funny story. So, the Shenango River actually runs straight through the town that's the town next to mine, and there's actually an old railroad bridge far back into the woods. It's like half a mile, really. It's not that far, but it's a pretty far walk. And me and my sister and my brother decided we should go out there and swim. It's a great idea. And so we bought like a bunch of like pool floaties and like a pump, so I could pump it because I'm the oldest. I have to do it. And so I pumped up everything, and my sister, she decided to float on one of the things. It was supposed to be like a drink holder, but she used it as a floaty. And so she got on it. She started floating and floating and floating, and then she just goes, "Help, help," and then she just starts floating away so slowly but fast. And then she comes to this side point. She grabs onto a branch. She can't get out. And she tells me to call my aunt. I'm like, why would we call my aunt? Like, she can't get there. She only got one leg. She can't fully walk, and my dad's at work. So there's that too. And so we didn't know what to do. And so I had to walk through the woods all the way over to her and pull her up out of the water. I actually took a picture of her sitting in the water, in the floaty, holding onto the branch. It was hilarious, I will admit. Yeah. So there was that. I don't know really else, because, I haven't been doing much, obviously. Besides just sitting here in my room, or, with my dog. Which she is a big dog now, by the way. She's a medium-sized dog, but she's big for a 1-year-old. I mean, for her breed, she could get as big as an office chair. That's how big she can get. So, and she's a golden doodle, for reference. She's a golden doodle, so she's very fluffy and very curly. And I love her, obviously. Though, if I don't know actually what I'm gonna do with my YouTube, honestly. I honestly don't think I'm gonna continue like my AU series, because I just kind of have lost interest. Like, also because I'm still dealing with like my grandma passing away, because she basically raised me from a literal baby. I'm not even joking. Like, she raised me from the moment I came home from the hospital. And she, it really hit me hard, when I had to let her go. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 'Cause honestly, I have become interested in. Actually, I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, honestly, on my Switch. So I'm really into that now. It's a good game. So I actually have OCs and AU in that, so I might just transfer over to here, because I've been thinking about that. I might just make videos about that, if I have the time, because I might be having a job soon. I also have a TikTok account. I do have that too. I can put it in like the description or something, so you guys can find it. Because I do post on there. I do post. It started out as like shark stuff, because I love sharks, but I also post personal stuff too. Like, I'll post CapCut stuff and stuff like that because I suck at editing. I kind of suck at editing. So, mostly post templates and stuff like that and different things. So, I do have a TikTok. But I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do with my channel yet. If you guys have any ideas, it would be great. I might just make a post on a community post to see if anyone has any ideas about, what I could do with this channel. Because I have a slew of ideas that I would like to do, So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. How my life's been going, really. I mean, I've just been going with the flow recently. Like, I mean, that's all I can do right now because I'm still like in the grieving process. Well, when you lose someone, you're always in the grieving process, no matter how long it's been. Really, like, it's been 2 years since I lost my mom and my brother and sister. It's only been a couple months since I lost my grandma, so I've been through it. And my sister has lost a couple people this past year too. So yeah, we've dealt with our fair share of grief. I don't know. I feel like that's it. Besides the fact that I am now, officially when I started taking medications, I was only on like 2. I only had 2. I only had 2 medications. Now I have 6. I have 6 different medications. And 2 of them are for sleep. 2 of them are for mood. 1 of them's for anxiety. And 1 is my vitamin D, because I have a very, very much vitamin D deficiency. I am very pale. I also actually got new glasses. I don't know if my camera's working right now. Like, I don't know if you guys can see me, but like, I have new glasses. They're blue, like on the tips, and like my hair is a little shorter. I have, like, they're blue. They're wired glasses now, so like, I like them a lot. They're nice. Like, I couldn't have my old ones. My old ones actually broke. They just broke naturally. So yeah, they just literally popped off. Yeah, but I will post a picture of my glasses. I'll post a picture of me and my glasses. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but it's not working. But I have my mic, so that's at least something. But yeah. I mean, that's really what's been happening lately. I don't know what's gonna happen in the near future. Like I said, it's been a lot this past couple months, year, 2 years. It's been a lot. I've lost 3 people within the last 2 years, so it's just wonderful. But I'm thankful that I have my boyfriend, because he's there to support me, and he knows how it feels to lose someone. Because actually yesterday his grandma passed away, and it ended up the same way as my grandma. So I understood how it was, and I know I have to be there for him. And that's what it is about a relationship. Relationships, they take 2 people. They take 2 people to make a relationship. It takes 2 people to make a relationship work. And it takes you to be there for each other. And me and him, we've always kind of been there for each other. Like, I'm always making sure he's okay, and he's making sure I'm okay. Like, I was super nervous today for my job interview. Like, I was super nervous. Like, I'm super nervous about going back to work because, like, I lost my grandma, and I was in the hospital twice already this year. So it's stressful for me. But he said, don't be nervous. I bet you're going to do great. And, that helps a lot. That helped a lot, honestly. And I actually have to call him back because he told me to after my interview. And it's been a bit since that, actually a couple hours. But I've just been, chilling out, kind of, and spending time with Peanut. And the thing with me and him, like, I love giving people things. Like, that's how I show people that I truly care about them, is that I buy them stuff, or I get them stuff, or I make them stuff. And I have a literal whole box full of stuff for him. Like, I actually have snacks in there. I have handmade stuff. I have stuff I bought for him. Like, I bought him a Pink Floyd poster because I know he loves Pink Floyd. He loves Pink Floyd, like, so much. And I was like, you know what? That'd be the best for him. That'd be so perfect for him. Like, I found it, and I was like, I know he'd love that. So I got it for him. And he feels really bad about it because, he's like, I don't deserve any of this. Like, you shouldn't be spending this money on me. I'm like, no, I should do this because I love you. That's why I'm doing this. And I did the same with my sister. Like, I was the only person who got her birthday presents on her 16th birthday. Like, I got her a whole bunch of stuff. And, she's actually 17 now. So I feel old, honestly. Like, I look at her and I'm like, she was just years ago, she was in my arms. Like, I was holding her bottle and feeding her when I was like, 1 or 2 years old. And, now it's crazy. That time passed. So, yeah. But, I don't really know what else. Unless you guys have questions that you'd like to ask me, I guess. I'm open to answering some questions, a couple questions. I mean, I've got a bit of time to answer some questions if you guys have any, like, just about anything. I mean, it depends, obviously, with what I'm comfortable with, I'd be actually open to do a Q&A, honestly. That'd be actually pretty cool, but I think I need to build my channel back up again because I know my subscriber rate has dropped since I've been off. Because obviously with everything happened and my motivation plummeting, especially since I'm trying to go back to school too, which I actually decided that I want to go into psychology. And I want to help young adults. I feel like I'm more connected to young adults because, that was when I had the most trouble at my age. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, well, you want to help people. Like, no, yes, I want to help people, but I want to make the world better. Like, I want to make sure that the right people, get the help they deserve and not just brush off and then something happens. Because I, myself, someone close to me, gotcha, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I'm still gonna do gotcha. I might just, because, it's the easiest thing for me to do. I probably will, but I'm probably just gonna use Gacha Club because I cannot figure out Gacha Club 2 or Gacha Life 2. I cannot. I just literally can't. If I'm gonna end up doing Gacha, I'm probably gonna just not do my AU with my original characters. Probably not anymore. I'll probably switch over to like something different. You know, it depends. I mean, I still have some interest in it. It has somewhat faded, but I do want to get back into doing stuff. Because it's something that I really like doing, you know, to see people like what I put out there and stuff like that. And, you know, I do want to help people. I do. But, you know, as someone who has had someone near me end their life, I had someone near me end their life. Specifically, my sister's boyfriend's brother. It was actually it was recently. And everyone, like, it shocked everyone. Like, he was in 8th grade and he was super young. And I honestly don't want that happen to anybody. Because honestly, if I did not have my therapist, like, I probably wouldn't have made it past 15. I'll be straight up. I wouldn't have made it past 15 because I was that bad at a young age. Like, my mental health has always been a struggle ever since I was in like 4th grade. Like, 4th grade was when it started, like, really everyone started, like, moving away from me, like, separating themselves from me. Like, I was, like, the loner kind of type. I still managed to, like, somewhat make friends and stuff like that, but still I had some problems, and obviously with transitioning and coming out and stuff like that, it's been hard. I mean, when is it not hard? But yeah. I will definitely give you guys, like, my TikTok and stuff like that, because if you want to see me post, like, more personal stuff, that's where I post stuff. I want to try and get back into doing videos, because it's something that I think really helped me have my outlet and stuff like that. I feel like it would help me do a lot better too. So yeah, I don't really think there's much of else to talk about, because, like I said, it's just been mostly grief and stuff like that. Like, it's mostly been me grieving and stuff like that, like, in my depression. Oh, right, I have been officially, well, technically officially, I went to the hospital and they diagnosed me with BPD, and I was like, I don't know what that is really. And so I looked it up, and I was like, oh, well, that kind of explains a lot. You know, that explains why I have problems keeping relationships. I have a lot of problems keeping friends. You know, I have uncontrollable mood swings all the time that I can't handle, you know. And, you know, my therapist said it might not be that, you know, it could just be, like, hormones or whatever. I mean, there's a possibility, because she already told me that I have PTSD. Like, I could have a couple other mental disorders that I don't even know about that I probably do. And I've only ever been officially diagnosed with depression, major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety, and social anxiety. So that's really all I've been diagnosed with, but I'll bet you there's more that there's there. I mean, I'm surprised I wasn't bipolar because both my parents bipolar. So yeah. I guess that's really it. I think I'm gonna go. Just chill for a bit because I need a nap. My meds, they make me really drowsy, so I think I'm gonna lay down for a bit. Maybe. And yeah. I will put my TikTok in the description of this live. I forgot to do it beforehand, but I will. And yeah. So I will hopefully see you guys another time. Hopefully soon. Hopefully not from a couple months or a year now. I hope so. So yeah. I will see you guys next time. Bye.